It's one of those nights that when you say to people, I'm going to go live on YouTube, and then the house needs to make as much noise as possible. That's how it is tonight. I just closed the door to the office and both dogs went mad. Bark, woof, woof, woof. And that's the way it is. That's life. Things get in the way, as we say on all the videos. Anyway, all that said, good evening. Welcome along. I've not done one of these coffee chats for a long time. In fact, it was 2 years ago. And the last one I did, I said I'm about to undertake the Manchester Marathon, going for a Boston qualifying time. And I'll get back to you in a few weeks and let you know what happened. And that's the last time I did a coffee chat. Life gets in the way. So here we are. We're going to start doing these more regularly, probably about one a month. And we'll bring up to date on running news in general, what I'm up to. And also you can comment as well. Let me know what you're up to. Would love to hear all about what you're up to these days. So you can comment if you're watching this on YouTube. And they will come directly through to me, which is brilliant. So I am so under the weather. I am baking hot. I am running a temperature. I've spent most of the day in bed. And I did get to the point of thinking I need to cancel this because I won't be able to do it. But no, we're going to soldier on. We're going to go see how far we go. I've got a few topics to discuss and to chat with you about. And then obviously, if you've got any questions, we can go down that route as well. So first of all, how's things with you? Yeah, all good? Everything going to plan? Your running journey going nicely? Please let me know about that in the comments to the side of the video or below the video, depending on where you're watching it. And if you're watching the replay, I'm sorry I can't reply to your comments, but thank you for leaving them. So first of all, this coffee chat, the big chat that is taking up most of my feed on Facebook and on Instagram as well, is talk of Boston, because they've gone and changed those qualifying times, haven't they? It's been set that certain way for quite a long time, but now they've actually gone and changed it all because of the amount of applications they're getting. Like most of these big major marathons, the number of people applying is going up and up and up. What was it? Something like 850,000 people applied for the London Marathon, which is amazing how many people applied, but it's also making it harder for us all to get into these marathons. So Boston at the moment has got a cap of about 31,500 runners, which is what the local towns agreed just prior to COVID. But they've never reached that limit. Most of the years since COVID, it's been about 30,000, 30,500 runners, of which 25,000 are actual ballot places. The rest are legacy runners and charity runners. And they're getting more and more applications this year. For 2025, they've had 35,000 applications for those 24,000 places. So you can see there's trouble coming. So when you've got that many people applying for that few places, you've got to do something with your cutoffs. So luckily, when I ran in 2023, everybody who applied got a place because the number applying was less than the amount of places. But now with it getting more, they're bringing in those cutoffs. This 2025 cutoff, we are about to find out in the next couple of days. Rumors are, and these are only rumors, and this is what's being speculated. People have put all the numbers into AI and they've asked AI all this malarkey, and they reckon it's going to be about a 7-minute cutoff. So you need your BQ plus an extra 7 minutes leeway. I reckon that's what it's going to be this year. So if you are in the ballot, fingers crossed for you. I hope you do get through. But it's like, for me, my qualifying time was 3 hours 35 minutes. So if it is a 7-minute cutoff, I need to be running 3 hours 28. So it just makes it a little bit harder to get in. So what the Boston Athletics Association have done is they've revised their qualifying times, their BQ times for 2026. So 25, everything's in order, everything's going through. You'll find out in the next couple of days. But for 2026, they've revised the Boston qualifying times. So if you're less than 60, if you're over 60, you're fine. If you're less than 60, they've all been upgraded by 5 minutes. So in my age range, 55 to 59, as I say, it was 3 hours 35 minutes. From 2026 onwards, it's going to be 3 hours 30. So they're making that qualifying time just that little bit harder to attain. Well, hard is not the right word, but a little bit You've got to work a little bit more to get that place. So in 2026, it might only be a BQ plus 2 minutes. If you see what I mean, it'll be pretty similar. So there's a lot of talk about that. The part of it I'm not going to talk about today, and I don't want any comments about this at all on any of my stuff, is the non-binary. Yes, non-binary is going to be there. It's there for a reason, but I do think it could be open to abuse. But that's all we're saying on it. We're not taking it any further. So yeah, the qualifying times are coming down, as I say, and you should get your results in the next day or two. So fingers crossed for you. Speaking of the majors, you got your BQ times coming out. Your Tokyo applications should find out 20th tomorrow. So yeah, should find out tomorrow. If you put in the ballot for Tokyo, you should be getting your email tomorrow to tell you to log on and see if you've got a place or not. So fingers crossed if you're in the ballot for Tokyo. The other two majors that are on the way, obviously we've got Berlin coming up in a couple of weeks' time, and we've also got Chicago. So if you are taking part in any of those, I do wish you the best of luck. There are videos on my channel from the times I've run both those marathons, so please feel free to go and have a look at those. And hopefully it'll give you some inspiration and give you a little bit of knowledge on what you're letting yourself in for. So good luck for those. Now, speaking of the majors, Sydney is a world major candidate race along with South Africa, Cape Town in South Africa. Now, the Sydney Marathon was run that weekend just gone. And by everything I've seen online, it was a fantastic race. Lots of participation. It was sold out. It was a good run. But looking at the videos, my word, for a candidate race for a world major, there wasn't much support on the streets. There was plenty of support at the end and the start, but on the marathon route, it seemed awfully quiet. So I don't know if they forgot to tell the locals you need to come out and support these people. If this is going to be a world major, it needs to be like the others, which are huge events, 3-4 people deep, the full 26.2 miles. So come on, Sydney, you need to put the game. If you want to be part of the gang, you're going to have to look at improving that support, because a lot of the time the runners were on the road and there was no support at all. But by all accounts, it was a good race. And I look forward to it being on the calendar, hopefully after I've got my 6 stars. So that's Sydney. Park run, let's bring it home. Are you a park runner? Do you do much park running? Have you been around different places? What's your take on all these changes they've been doing recently? You know, taking away the fastest times and all this. Now, for me as a runner, it doesn't bother me what other people are running. If people are running faster, people are running slower, that's fine. That's what they want to do. It's not me. I know where I am and I know what I can do. And I just race myself against the clock, because parkrun has always said it's going to be free, weekly and timed. So they're continuing with all that, but they've taken away all the stats around it. Now, for the stats, for me, I would only look at the fastest to see whether that's a fast park run or whether it's a slower park run. Is going to be more technical. That's the only thing I've ever looked at it. And as a run director myself, everybody is encouraged to participate, whether you walk, run, jog, however you want to do it. You're more than welcome to, and you get the same encouragement from the first to the last. And my volunteer teams have the same thinking as well. Everybody gets encouraged to do it. So I think taking away the stats is wrong. I know it's not a race. It is a run. But we all like stats. We all like seeing stats. We all like following stats. But yeah, it doesn't put me off running. Does it put you off running? Let me know in those comments below. Would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these things that are affecting the running world. We are going to get into a bit of what I'm up to very shortly, but I just wanted to go around one or two things that are happening out and about at the moment. One thing I have noticed, and Brian, who in our running club has brought this to my attention and quite a few people's attention, the number of local races. Now, we all go on about these big races, the Great North Run, London Marathon, all that, which are great to take part in. They are wonderful events, don't get me wrong, but there are hundreds of local races happening up and down this country every weekend. But over the last 12 months, there seems to be an increase in the number of local races that are getting cancelled due to lack of participation, to lack of people booking on these races. Now, is this because we do want all the glitz and glamour of the big runs, Are local races now pricing themselves out of the market? Excuse me. I'm just looking at a couple of races to me. The Manchester Marathon, okay, it's supposed to be the UK's second biggest marathon. That's now that was £80 to get into that. And that was on a early bird price. So when the further places go on sale very soon, how much is that going to go up to? There's a half marathon coming up in Manchester that my mate Russ has just put on, and it's £60. And you don't even get a T-shirt for that. So it's just the run, the medal, and all the first aid and everything goes with it, obviously. And also looking at our own club championship at the local races, they're now talking £25, £30 a race, for a 10K or half marathon. Are we pricing ourselves out of the market, or are the races now pricing themselves out of the market? Is this why so few people are now booking on them, and why they're disappearing? Are they not offering value for money, or is it people just want bigger, bolder, brasher, brighter? It's hard to say. I've run many a local race and thoroughly enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed the Great North. Excuse me. This cold's getting to me, and I am really starting to sweat now. Temperature's going up and up and up as I talk. But yeah, we need to support these local races. We need to be helping these local organisers. You know in your area who those people are. So go and support them. Go and do a couple of runs. Go and help this running community stay local, because if we lose these local guys, all we're going to have is the regional races, and we're going to start traveling and taking money out of the communities. And we need to keep things more local. We need to help these local businesses. So please support your local runs. If you have got a favorite local run, please let me know about it. Would love to hear what you like running. I know here in Blackpool, if you run locally, most of it is flat. I wouldn't say it's dead flat. There are a little bit of ups and downs. But if I go 5, 6, 7, 10 miles inland to places like Garstang, and then you start getting the hills, and it's a totally different environment, but it's still local. So you can change your type of running just by traveling a few miles, but staying local, if you see what I mean. So there's plenty of variety running out there from these local organisers. So please go and support them. Right. Oh, I'm just looking at my notes. Right, more about me then and what I've got coming up. YouTube is going great. Thank you very much indeed for watching this. Thank you for supporting it. Just to let you know that we do have channel memberships open now. And for the princely price of £1.99 a month, you can be part of the channel membership. There are posts that are going on YouTube, especially for members, that aren't going to the public. And now most of my videos are going to be going onto the membership page a couple of days in advance of going public. So if you want the early access, all you have to do is pay £1.99 a month. If you can afford that, that would be absolutely brilliant. I will also be doing the coffee catch up once a month live to everybody, but I'll also be doing another live just for members on a monthly basis as well. So if you want to be part of that, it's just £1.99 for that basic membership. There are other membership levels, including coaching calls and what have you. You can go see more about that on the YouTube page. But just starting off at just £1.99 a month, it'll get you early access and get you into that member only chat as well. So please consider that. If you can donate £1.99 a month, which is less, well, it's half a coffee really, isn't it? If you can donate half a coffee a month, it will help this channel grow. We'll be able to get some more gear in, and we'll be doing more shoe reviews, more gear reviews, and we can move it forward together, and you can be part of that. You'll also get your shout outs on the videos as always. So if you consider joining the channel membership, that would be brilliant. Here I am feeling rough, and I'm going to be talking about future goals. Since I came back last year from Boston, Chicago, and also running around Las Vegas, my running mojo seems to have just disappeared. It's because I've not had anything to aim for. Putting for Tokyo, putting for New York in the ballots, and thank you for replying, but no go. So the whole chasing the 6 stars journey just came to a complete halt, and that just knocked me back, took away my mojo, took away my impetus to get out and run. This year, I've only done probably 550 miles all year. Whereas in previous years, I'd be at 1,300 by now. So it has really impacted me. Just that loss of focus. So going into 2025, I hope to be building on that. We know where the problem is, so hopefully we can tackle it head on. One of the things I've done is actually booked onto the Manchester Marathon, as I mentioned earlier on. I've run it twice. I've done 3:26 there to get my Boston qualifying. But with a course, being a course that I've run before, I think you have a psychological advantage if you know what's coming. There's nothing around the corner that's going, oh my word, where's that hill come from? So I think because it is a mainly flat course, apart from when you're running around Altrincham, and it's known, I know the turns, I know the hills, I think I can go faster than 3:26. So that's the goal from now until April next year, is to work on increasing my marathon time. And I am aiming for, I'm going to put it out there right now, I am aiming to do a 3:15 or faster marathon. That's the goal. That will get me into New York as an age qualifier, unless they change it. So 3:15 is the goal. Do you think I could do it? As I say, I've run 3:26. I've done that. Can I take an extra, shall we say, 12 minutes off my time? I think it can be done. Do you? Let me know in the comments. So that's what I'm going to be working towards to April next year, working towards getting that marathon time down to 3:15. Now, I want to take you with me on that journey. We're going to be doing some specific videos on the training I'm doing. We'll also be going through the sessions I'm doing, video those sessions so you can follow along as well if you want to come on the journey with me. So we'll be doing all that. You'll be able to see me every step of the way. If you go onto Strava /athletes/Tony James, click on subscribe, follow, not subscribe. So many social platforms, all got different things. So if you follow me on Strava, you'll get to see every run. All the data is there in the raw. You can follow along and you can see me with that progress. And hopefully, by the time we line up in Manchester in April, we'll be fit, raring to go, because that's the first hurdle, isn't it? Getting to the start line, fit and ready to go, and go for that 3:15 marathon. Is it doable? I think it is. I think that's the other thing. You've got to get your mindset right. I think I can do it. So we'll just work towards that. So that's my main goal over these winter months, is winter training. Do you prefer winter or summer training? I know some people prefer one over the other. The thing I'm doing differently this time is I'm taking out a gym membership and I am going to be doing strength and conditioning exercises more than I have previously. I've paid it lip service. We've done a few planks and that's about it. But running up to this marathon, once we get to January, we're going to put in there a proper strength and conditioning regime at least once a week to help build. Because I think if I build on that, that could give me a couple of minutes in my pace. It could help me with my overall pace. So we're going to be working on the strength and conditioning, and as well as the actual running at marathon pace, interval training, getting the speed up. So we're going to be doing park runs, using those as the timed where I'm at. Because generally I run, when I'm fit, I can generally run a park run in around 21 minutes. I'm currently 22 minutes because I'm not 100% because of this year, how it's been. So we're picking up on that. And let's see if we can get the park run times down to around 20 minutes. And then that way we'll know I am fit enough to get on with this marathon goal of 3 hours, 15 minutes at age, what's age? I'm 57. So I'll be 58 next year when I run that in Manchester. I think I can do it. With the right training, with you keeping me on track, I think we can do that. So yeah, looking forward to that. Also, I've come up with, I've not come up with this idea. I've stolen it off the internet because somebody else did it. I am going to attempt to run a world marathon pace. That's all I'm going to say at this moment. In the next few weeks, once I get rid of this cold, I'm going to get on the track and I'm going to attempt to run a world record marathon pace. We know that record is 2 hours, 35 seconds, which was from Chicago last year. We know that Eliud Kipchoge has broken the 2-hour barrier for a marathon distance. It was nothing to do with getting the marathon record, by the way. He was just this whole thing to prove that a person can run faster than 2 hours for a marathon. So it's proved that barrier can be broken. And in Chicago, it was ever so close to doing that, 35 seconds off. I reckon he would have done it. He was going to run Rotterdam later on in the year. I reckon he would have broke that 2 hours. So somebody is going to do it, and they're going to do it sooner rather than later. But as I say, for me, I am going to attempt a world record marathon pace. More about that in the coming weeks. So that's just a little bit of fun on top of the training. So yeah, we're going to bring these chats back monthly. I am going to be trying to find some guests to come along and chat with. I know last time we did this, Neil Solenki, who is a sports nutritionist, every time we had him on, that was fantastic and everybody loved that. So we're going to get Neil back. He doesn't know this yet. And if you're watching, Neil, I'll be in touch. We'll get something sorted. We might do that in the members zone, in the first chat in the members zone. So you might want to join just to hear Neil. Top bloke, lots of sports nutrition tips, and we'll have him. I've got emails into people like Scott Matthews, who just did 30 marathons in 30 days in the desert. Now, I've run on sand. I've done a park run on sand at Petheli. I live in Blackpool. I've run on the beach. Running on sand is not the easiest. It's not as easy as you think it is. But to run 30 marathons back to back in 30 days, he's now a world endurance record holder. So we've got some emails in. So hopefully if he sees this, we'll pressure him into coming to talk to us. So we're going to be bringing back chats with people from the running world. So that's all on the cards for the future. Just a quick mention to about two endurance athletes who I admire. First one is Scott Jurek, who will be here in the UK at the National Running Show in Birmingham in January. So I'm looking forward to seeing him and listening to him talk about his running journey. 10 Western States wins. Fantastic achievement. To me, he is the best of all time, which is my subjective view, because the next guy I'm going to talk about can also be classed as the best endurance runner of all time. And that's Kilian Jornet, who in the last few days has just completed, now work this out, he has connected all 82 peaks in the Alps that are over 4,000 feet high. He's run them all. He's not driven between them. Yeah, it's been him, up, down to next one, up, down to next one. All 82 peaks. The previous record unofficially for doing this was 62 days. Have you seen how quickly Kilian Jornet did this? When people talk about a goat, the greatest of all times, this guy actually is a goat. He's a mountain goat. 82 peaks, over 4,000 feet in elevation for each one, not driving between them. 19 days. It took over 40 days off the previous record. That is phenomenal. That is superhuman. So these two guys are probably, as I say, probably the best ultra runners I've ever come across, and just been invaded by one of the cats, but we won't dwell on that. So yeah, Kilian Jornet, he is literally one of the best. And Scott Jurek, as I say, from when I read his first book, he had me hooked on running. So I'm looking forward to catching up with him at the running show in Birmingham. I think I might have some free tickets left. I'm going to have to check with them, and I'll let you know in the community section if any free tickets from my allocation are still available, because I know they were flying out a month or so ago, because there is a £10 charge to get into the running show this year. But if I've still got some free tickets left, you're more than welcome to have them. So I'll let you know. Keep your eyes open on the community tab for that. So as I say, it's just a little catch up on what's happening in the running world, catch up with what I'm planning to do, or what we've got coming up. The club started a Couch to 5K program this week, which is fantastic. Now, going back to the park run and about times, I'm not bothered about how fast or slow anybody else runs it. When I go out with the Couch to 5K groups, I like running at the back. I like being with the slow runners, because encouraging them and helping them along gives me such a great feeling, a great buzz to be helping people. That's why I became a coach, because I like helping runners to get the best out of themselves. It's not always about time. It's about fun and fitness. So it's going out there, helping people feel healthier, attain their goals. Especially with Couch to 5K, when you do that first week and it's 1 minute on, 1 minute off, and I can't run, I can't run for a minute 8 times. I can't do that. And then by the time you get to week 9, they're running 30 minutes non-stop. The progress is phenomenal, and the way these people attempt it is fantastic. And I just like being part of that. It's part of being probably the part of being the coach with me. Excuse me. So yeah, as I'm not feeling well, and we are coming up to half an hour of chat, I'm going to say thank you very much indeed for tuning in. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you for watching it. We will go live every month with a chat for everybody, and we're also going to go live for members as well. So please hit subscribe, and if you can afford $1.99 a month to be part of this channel, think about taking out that membership now. That would be great. So thank you very much indeed for your time. I hope to see you all again soon, and we'll catch up in the very near future. See ya.